Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. Have you worked with a coach or a therapist before? Then you've probably experienced what's known as either top-down or bottom-up. It's two types of models that are used in those industries, and they have their pros and cons. I want you to be empowered to be able to actually use both of them at the same time to bring you out at your very best. So if you were to think of a pyramid divided into 3 levels, the bottom level is going to be physical, the middle level is going to be emotional, and the top level is going to be mental. So when you are at the top, that is all about the thoughts that you're thinking. And a top-down model says that when you have a thought that is intrusive, you need to have a counter thought that you switch to. So you have a trigger. Maybe that trigger is a boss hollering at you, the kids crying, the significant other who isn't pulling their weight. That's, I can go on and on and on. All right. So you've got something in your environment that leads to the thought that you are absolutely overwhelmed. You cannot do all of this on your own. What in the hell is wrong with people? Those thoughts lead to emotions. Those emotions produce chemicals in your system that then create maybe an outburst such as anger, or it could be you having a challenge and actually pulling away in pain and hiding behind situational sadness. Okay, so cognitive behavioral therapy, which is excellent, does a phenomenal job. It's based on the top-down model. It says when you have a trigger and you go to that thought, you need to have a counter thought. The challenge is that only works with 2 areas, which is known as being in pain or being wounded. So when we're in pain is when we're going after a goal and we're stretching ourselves and we're putting ourselves in some uncomfortable experiences. I'll give you an example from me. I am getting out of my familiar zone, and it's known as expanding the unit. And I'm getting around brand new people. I signed up for a hiking group, met with them the first time this past weekend. And as soon as we started the hike, they all took off. They've been hiking together 6.5 years. And I was left at the back of the pack, and it wasn't long before I couldn't even see them. They were moving so fast. Now, that caused some pain, and it also brought up a wound. A wound is when you experience something in your past that has caused you problems until you learn the lesson from it. But once you learn the lesson, it becomes one of the strongest parts of your personality. And immediately, my wound showed up of being in elementary school, and I was the kid who never got picked for any team. So we're out on the field. Everybody's picked teams for dodgeball or kickball, whatever it was. And I'm still left standing there. And the teacher's going, "What about Dawn?" And their kids are going, "We don't want to play with her," because I was so uncoordinated. So that old wound immediately showed up. But then the part of my personality that says, "Oh, I got the lesson from this." And the lesson is, if I want to learn how to play sports like other people, I need to be around people who are doing better than I am. So I'm going to continue with this group. I'm going to go back again. And so I strengthened the part of my personality that says, I can't make a decision on whether or not this group is for me yet, because I have incomplete information. So I was able to have a counter thought. And that went then from the mental into the emotional, which was, I'm still curious. I'm still exploring this. And it wasn't long after I switched to that emotional state, then two people in the group noticed that I was bringing up the rear, and they decided to hang back and talk to me. They didn't stay with me the entire time, but they still reached out to me. But it wasn't until I opened up my emotional state where they felt like they could approach me. Keep in mind, there's something more viral than any germ out there, and that's our emotions. And we can pass them from one person to another in 1,000th of 1 second. So I had to make sure that I was in an emotional state that was worth catching. And I delivered self-hypnotic suggestions that said, I'm going to be curious about this and I want to be fit like these other people who took off. So I'm going to find out who I need to be, because the who always shows up before the how. I'm going to find out who I need to be in order to experience their kind of results hiking. Oh, okay. So that's top down. But see, we've got two other emotional states. We have what's known as betrayed or trauma, and if not addressed, it turns into danger. And top down does not work for those. That's when we have to do bottom up. And bottom up says that we need to address the emotional state that has shown up in the physical body. And maybe it's panic and anxiety attacks. Maybe, it's those heart palpitations. Maybe it's the stomach upset. It's what's known as a midline response. And when we're in a midline response, which is either in our chest or our stomach, bottom up says before we can take the individual any further, we have to address what's showing up physically. There was a time whenever I had to present at different conferences, at different events. And I had what would be known as a betrayal response, and I would throw up. I would be out on the parking lot throwing up before I'd have to do the event, the speaking engagement. And then I was able to at least get into the building and then throw up in the restroom there. And then finally get it to where the butterflies would settle down. And now I actually look forward to speaking. Well, how did all of that happen? I had to work with a mentor on suggestions that took those chemicals that I was experiencing and turned them rapidly into excitement, because the part of the brain that lights up with fear is the same part of the brain that lights up with excitement. That was discovered by two Harvard psychologists. The only difference is our perception. What is it that we're doing with those chemicals? Are we allowing them to weigh us down or lift us up? And so then working with hypnotic suggestions, that whenever I would experience those emotions, actually putting them into a container that I could draw on that would be beneficial for me. Okay, so that's when we do bottom up. Either one of these is phenomenal to use, but they can be incomplete if done or left all on their own. We need to bring them together and use both of them. So how does that look? Well, in a hypnosis session, I am going to give you what's known as an authoritative post-hypnotic. That it means that it is going to be a tool that you're going to use after the session is over with, to where you're going to take what you're feeling and actually upgrade it.
the fear into the excitement, the pain into progress, the wound into your wealth. So I'm going to give you a tool to be able to do that, but that's not enough. Then I have to do something known as future pacing, where I put you back into the environment that caused those triggers and those thoughts and those emotions to actually then have the counter side to them. We're giving the pain a purpose for progress. So we're actually doing both models at the same time, because the subconscious says whatever is vividly imagined is accepted as reality. And you can move into that reality quickly. And once you've done it, and the subconscious goes, oh, this is how we're supposed to experience life, then you can do it again and again, even better. Okay, so if you want to be able to work with me, let's have a conversation. And if you decide not to work with me, at least pick a hypnotist that is going to be doing both of these for you. And if you decide I'm not that one, I'll even give you the questions you should be asking when you interview somebody else. So, canhypnosishelpyou.com. Go to my website. There you're going to have a banner that pops up on the bottom of the screen where you can set a call in your time zone, and we can talk about what it is that you need to use both of these to upgrade your identity. You can do this. I believe in you. And until you can believe in yourself, just borrow mine.